Yes, me ready. Start. The learned counsel for the respondent therefore submitted that in view of the peculiar facts and circumstances of the case, the husband has failed to prove that wife has no intention to bring cohabitation to an end that is animus disrendi, and also the fact of separation. Stop. The learned counsel for the respondent submitted that the two ingredients, namely the fact of separation and intention to live separately, which is prime condition, have not been proved by the appellant husband. Stop. Therefore, the essential ingredients are absent in this case, and the appellant husband is not entitled to get a decree of divorce. Stop. The learned counsel for the respondent wife has relied on the judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court in case of Savitri Pandey versus Prem Chandra Pandey, reported in 2002 AIR SCW 192. Stop. In that case, the marriage between the appellant wife Savitri Pandey and the respondent husband Prem Chandra Pandey was solemnized on 6/5/1987. Stop. The appellant wife lived with the respondent husband till 21/6/1987, and according to her, the marriage between the parties was never consummated. Stop. After 21/6/1987, the parties started living separately. Stop. There was a demand for certain more articles from the respondent husband, which were also subject matter of the petition, and ultimately it has been alleged that the respondent husband and his family members were alleged to have started torturing the appellant wife. Stop. Aggrieved by the attitude of the respondent husband and his family members, the appellant filed petition under section 13 of the act seeking dissolution of marriage by a decree of divorce on the ground of desertion and cruelty, along with prayer for the return of the property and grant of permanent alimony. Stop. The respondent also filed a petition seeking divorce and grant of other reliefs. Stop. However, on 14/5/1996, the respondent filed an application for withdrawal of his matrimonial case, which was allowed on 19/5/1996. Stop. However, the appellant wife had alleged that the respondent was having illicit relations with a lady residing in Gaya in Bihar, with whom he was stated to have solemnized the marriage. Stop. The allegations made in the petition were denied by the respondent, and it was stated that in fact the appellant wife was taking advantage of her wrongs. Stop. On the basis of the said pleading, the family court concluded that no evidence had been led to prove the allegations of cruelty and desertion. Stop. The court, however, held, but it is proved that the respondent had deserted the petitioner, hence the petitioner will get divorce. Stop. An offence punishable under section 409 of the Indian Penal Code if committed by a public servant or by a person dealing with property belonging to government as an agent of government in respect of property with which he is entrusted or over which he has dominion in his capacity of a public servant or in the way of his business as such agent. Stop. An offence punishable under section 417 or section 420 of the Indian Penal Code if committed by a public servant or by a person dealing with property belonging to government as an agent of government while purporting to act as such public servant or agent. Stop. Government notification allotting the present case to the special court is not on the ground, and therefore what its actual contents were cannot be stated with any precision. Stop. It may, however, be assumed that it mentioned the offence involved in the case to be that under section 409 IPC, and possibly did not state the various facts which went to establish that offence against the appellant. Stop. Under section 409, IPC is mentioned in the schedule referred to in subsection within bracket 2 of section 4 of the Act. Stop. The state government was therefore competent to allot the case involving that offence to the special court. Stop. In fact, it had to allot the case to the special court in view of the provision of subsection within bracket 1 of section 4 to the effect that the offences specified in the schedule shall be triable by special courts only. Stop. The question therefore really is whether the special court could try the appellant for the offence under section 420 IPC. Stop. An offence under section 420 IPC when committed in certain circumstances it is also mentioned in the schedule. Stop. It has to be tried by special courts only when it is committed by a public servant while purporting to act as such. Stop. There is no doubt that the appellant is a public servant. Stop. This has not been disputed. Stop. Learned counsel for the appellant, Mr. Mukherjee, has urged that the expression while purporting to act as such public servant be construed to mean while purporting to act in the discharge of official duties, and that presentation of a false bill could not be in the discharge of official duty. Stop. Such presentation may not be in the discharge of official duty, but the question is different and as to whether the presentation of a false bill was made by the public servant purporting to do so in the discharge of his duty. Stop. The doctrine of merger is neither a doctrine of constitutional law nor a doctrine statutorily recognized. Stop. It is a common law doctrine founded on principles of property in the hierarchy of justice delivery system. Stop. On more occasions than one, this court had an opportunity of dealing with the doctrine of merger. Stop. It would be advisable to trace and set out the judicial opinion of this court as it has progressed through the times. Stop. There can be no doubt that if an appeal is approved against an order passed by a tribunal, the decision of the appellate authority is the operative decision in law. Stop. If the appellate authority modifies or reverts the decision of the tribunal, it is obvious that it is the appellate decision that is effective and can be enforced. Stop. In law, the position would be just the same even if the appellate decision merely confirms the decision of the tribunal. Stop. As a result of the confirmation of the decision of the tribunal by the appellate authority, the original decision merges in the appellate decision, and it is the appellate decision alone which subsists and is operative and capable of enforcement. Stop. However, in the facts and circumstances of the case, this court refused to apply the doctrine of merger. Stop. There an order of registration of a firm was made by the income tax officer. Stop. The firm was then assessed as a registered firm. Stop. The order of assessment of the assessee was subjected to appeal before the appellate commissioner. Stop. Later on, the order passed by the income tax officer in respect of registration of the firm was sought to be revised by the commissioner of income tax. Stop. Question arose whether the commissioner of income tax could have exercised the power of revision. Stop. This court held that though the order of assessment made by the ITO was appealed against before the appellate commissioner, the order of registration was not applicable at all, and therefore the order granting registration of the firm cannot be said to have been merged in the appellate order of the appellate commissioner. Stop. While doing so, this court analyzed several provisions of the Income Tax Act so as to determine the nature and scope of relevant appellate and revisional powers. Stop over.